Welcome, Catwalkers, to another locked and loaded episode of the Catwalk. I would be Jay Whitlow, or Whit for short. As a missional entrepreneur and storyteller, it is my role to edify you for the next few minutes or so. For over the past 20 years, I have served from the oil field to the mission field with a lot of stops in between. Today, I'm on a personal journey to share stories and insights from people right here in the Permian Basin and beyond. One thing I've learned is that storytelling is powerful. Everyone has a story to tell, so join me as I dive into a great conversation today on the Catwalk.
From the PCC studios in Midland, it's the Catwalk, presented by Performance Chemical. Conversations connecting with industry executives, community leaders, nonprofit organizations, and social entrepreneurs.
Hey, Catwalkers, welcome to another edition of the Catwalk. Our title sponsor, we want to give a shout out to Performance Chemical. If you are in the need for some specialty chemicals here in the Permian Basin, we would love for you to set up a time to visit with Ralph or Sammy or Casey. You can check us out at perf-chem.com. That's perf-chem.com. And we want to give a great shout out to our title sponsor, Performance Chemical Company. I am so excited today to welcome our special guest. This is Stephanie Miller. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you know, we have known each other for a little over a year, maybe a year and a half, but I saw you recently. We were bowling together. Do you remember that?
Yes.
That was Tim at Tortuga.
Yes.
Invited me. They were a little short on some team members.
Yes.
And so he asked me to be there. Are you a good bowler?
I've had a few lessons. I think that was the best score that I had so far. So nobody believed me.
That was a fun night.
It was. It was a lot of fun.
Now you guys were all dressed up in weird costumes and stuff that night. And it wasn't Halloween. What was going on? Can you tell us what was going on?
I don't remember. I mean, it's the national. It was a realtor bowling.
That's right.
Night for Permian Basin
money.
Board of Real Estate. Yes,
Okay.
we were raising money, and so we had themes, of course. And
That's
I think
right.
that we just did T-shirts. I don't remember.
It was like an 80s night or something.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
wore
was a
my
lot of fun.
T-shirt yesterday.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just
Did your team
to
win?
have it.
Did y'all win anything?
We did not.
You
no.
didn't?
No.
I didn't
No.
help my team win either. So
No.
I'm sure Tim was like, why did I invite this guy to be on our team?
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad that you're here. I want to talk about Real Producers and what you do. But first off, let's go backwards. Start us where you're from. Kind of take us up until you went to college.
Okay. Well, I am originally from La Mesa, Texas. Way, far away.
Big town.
Yes. Grew up there and married to somebody in Andrews, Texas. So I've been there for 25 years.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much where I've been. Went to school in Lubbock, Texas Tech.
Rackham.
And decided that really wasn't my forte. So I decided to go into real estate much later on after, getting married and starting a family. And then real estate was what I decided to do.
Okay, so Tech, what was your degree? Did you
So
start
I was
as?
majoring, and of course, your first year, you're just doing your basics.
Right.
And then I decided to go into business. So I majored in business
Okay.
with a minor in law.
Whoa, in law?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me that. Tell me, where did the law thing come from?
I like to argue. So, that was something that I was really good at. I like debating, and so that
Yeah.
was something that I was really, encouraged to
Okay.
look
So
into.
you went to Tech. You were in business and law. What was it at the point where you were like, okay, business and law is not for me?
Probably about my third year, I decided that I was ready to, probably 2 years into it, not third. I came
Yeah.
back, I did a little bit of college here and there, but I left Tech my second year.
Okay, so you didn't graduate from Tech.
I did not.
Okay, did you live on campus?
I did.
What dorm?
Chitwood.
You were in Chitwood. Okay, I was in Murdo.
Okay.
Do you remember Murdo? It was Murdo Stangle.
Yes, I
Kind
remember
of in
Stengel.
the center. Yeah, we called it Murder Strangle.
Okay.
Hall and stuff. So yeah, so you lived in Chitwood. Did you have a roommate, and do you still keep in contact with that roommate?
I had a room, not when I was there, but I did have a couple of roommates back in college.
Yeah.
one of them is actually, she used to be a realtor in Weatherford. She's still doing real estate, but I think she's in the Breckenridge area.
Okay.
Her name was Skeeter. And then I had another roommate that her name was Amanda, and she lives in Florida now. So I've recently gotten in touch with her again. So it's kind of cool to still be in touch with your college roommates and friends.
Yeah, I had one roommate all the way through college. He was best man in my wedding. I was best man in his. And then we don't talk anymore. It seems like I think we see each other or hear from each other once a year. It seems like. So that's cool that you keep in touch with them. So you left tech, and where did you go after leaving tech? You made that decision to leave. What happened next?
I actually came back into the Midland area, and that's where I met my ex-husband, and then the rest is history. Went to Andrews, got married, went to Andrews, and then have two beautiful children, both adults now, living, one in Denver, Colorado, one in Phoenix, Arizona. And yeah, they left
do you go
the
see
nest.
Them?
I do.
Yeah.
Well, so Skylar, my youngest, she's 23.
Right.
She just recently moved to Phoenix. She's been there since May, so we haven't had a chance to go see her yet. But we are, definitely, she's coming home for Thanksgiving, so we'll get to spend a week with her. And then I was recently in Denver last weekend with Jayton. He's 25, and he lives up there in the big
What does he
city.
do?
What does he do?
Yeah.
So he is, he works for Umzu.
Okay.
And it's a supplement company, and he is director of the nonprofit for that organization.
Oh, that's cool. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Okay, so you got the two kids. They're spread out everywhere. When was it that you went into real estate? When did that grab you?
So 2010 is when I decided that real estate was something that I wanted to get into or look into. And my whole goal was to be able to get into something that I would be able to still be a mom and, a wife, and be able to be at home and cook supper and, just be present with all of the school activities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And still was, but I was also still working, lots of long nights and stuff like that. So anybody that thinks they can just do part-time real estate doesn't really do real estate, very
They don't do it well.
much. Yeah, because it is definitely a full-time job, and I loved it. I still love it. And so that's, it inspired. I had a lot of very good mentors, and being in Andrews, around Lana Bevel, Wendy Enlow, those were two of the big ones that really inspired me to do what I do.
You brought up a good point of, I think realtors, to me, sometimes get a misunderstanding. They think, they just have to sell one house and not do a whole lot of work, but it is long days and long hours and working. Are you a self-starter? Are you self-motivator? Is that why you kind of chose to do that, or?
I am self-motivated, very much so.
Yeah.
I really believe to be in your own business, you have to be disciplined. You have to be one of those people that strives to be above the crowd. I have a lot of drive within myself just to continue to better myself. And so, in real estate, you can do that as long as you're willing to work hard and put yourself out there.
So you've moved from real estate to where you are now. Let's talk about what you're doing now, because this is kind of your sweet spot, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So about 2 years ago, 2 years ago in February of 2024, I will have started Permian Basin Real Producers, and what that is, it's a magazine that is, just like the magazine says on the cover, it connects, elevates, and inspires the realtors and the partners within the industry. And we get to tell the stories of the top 300 agents throughout the Permian Basin. And we just get to find out what they do, not only, how they became successful in real estate, but also what they do behind the scenes. What is their family life like? How have they been able to, incorporate their real estate business with their family life and whatever else they're doing? And what are their hobbies? We all interact with each other, and we get to, see what it's like to do business with someone, but we don't get to see what it's like on the other side. So it's really fun to watch, to see their personal lives, in story.
That's cool. So you are in some ways a storyteller.
Absolutely.
Through the magazine. So this is a copy of it, and it's called Real Producers. Now, is this just in the Permian Basin, or is this a national magazine?
This is a franchise there is 147 of real producers in the country.
Wow.
And so, we are in, there's only a few, actually there's only 2 of us in West Texas. So there's Lubbock Real Producers, who Kathy Pettit owns that.
Mm-hmm.
And then here in the Permian Basin, I have, ours. And that's really it. It takes, it takes a whole bunch of people to get it together, but it's pretty inspiring.
So you have a team that puts the magazine, the edition together, right?
Yes.
So you have a photographer, you have somebody who sells ads or something to it. So what's the challenge to putting this together?
In my opinion, it's making sure that we have the partners in place to, we have a referral list, and all of our top 300 agents will give me referrals with the people that they're partners who they work very well with, whether it be inspectors, home builders, title companies, anybody in the industry that, helps them out with their business.
Right.
And that has been, believe it or not, a struggle to make sure that we have the right fit for our magazine. And so with that being said, we have a partners list who they will sponsor the people in the magazine, and they get to be on the preferred vendors list for us. And that goes out throughout the whole Permian Basin for the real estate agents.
How do you get to be on the cover?
So you have to be one of the top 100 real estate agents.
What does that mean?
Top 100 in volume. So if you have sold 100 in the top 100, then, volume-wise,
okay,
then that is how we get the top 100. And you have to be nominated. So your peers will nominate you.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where does the magazine, where does it stack up? You said it was 147 different?
147 different real producer issues.
Okay.
Yes.
And where does this one stack up with like Lubbock or Dallas or any of the other ones? Do you find it hard to find top 100, or is there a lot of top 100s around the Permian Basin?
Well, so we have a list. So what we do is we combine the Permian Basin Board of Real Estate and the Odessa Board of Real Estate together, and that's how we get the top 300. So
okay.
we make that list ourselves, and then every year it will go out in email that congratulations, you're a real producer, Permian Basin Real Producer, top producer, and they get different perks. We hold networking events every quarter that they get to go and network with the preferred partners in the magazine and the other top 300 agents.
Wow. So how many is on your team then to do the magazine?
I have an assistant publisher. Her name is Madison Coble, and she puts the magazine together after I interview all of our, cover stories and the rising star or whoever else is in the magazine. And then she'll send out an email, and she'll just take it from there. She does all of our revisions and everything from the back office. I have an ad strategist, Carolyn Foley, who does all of our ads and puts them together, creates them, and makes sure that they're all together every month. And she sends an email out to all of our partners, and if they want any changes or anything like that. And I have a photographer, Selah Stone, with Stone Photography. And we recently added Stephen Tippett to our photography pool. And then, let's see, who else do I have? I think I have a writer, and she will interview each one of our articles, whoever we're talking about, cover story, partners, or rising star, every month, and will write the story for us.
When you say partners, who is a partner?
So a partner is somebody who the real estate agents have referred to me. They are the people who are that's why we have the magazine.
Okay.
They are the ones who they're the ones who will be able to be in the magazine and go to the events and stuff like that.
So if you're like
partners.
at Keller Williams or
Mm-hmm.
Pine and Beckett, something like that, you nominate or you bring to the table a
Yes.
partner
Exactly.
that you've invested in and spent time with, and you just highlight them.
Yeah, so we highlight them, but they also can be contributors to the magazine.
Oh, okay.
And then they get their ad. They also get social media presence and stuff like that.
Oh.
Our title companies are, one of our big sponsors. Our one of the major sponsors is our insurance companies and our mortgage lenders. We have several mortgage lenders that, partner up with us and are able to get some one-on-one with
Right.
the top 300 agents.
Wow. So you've got a team. What would you say is your leadership style?
So I'm one of those people who think that you need to stay in your lane.
I like that.
If I am not if I'm not good at something, I'm not going to try to be, pretend that I am.
Right.
I will make sure and hopefully find somebody that fits, that criteria very well
Mm-hmm.
and put them in that position. So I guess you could say I'm kind of a delegator.
Okay.
And then, I found a unicorn with all of the people that I work with in my staff because they are just great to work
Yeah.
with. And I haven't had any issues or anything like that.
With that
So,
team.
mhm.
What do you do to make yourself a better leader? Like, do you read? Do you listen to podcasts? Go to conference trainings? What do you do to invest in yourself to become a better leader?
All of the above. I do a lot of reading. I go to a lot of conferences, listen to podcasts all the time. I just pour into myself. I think it's very important that, you're always learning and always finding something, new
Right.
to better yourself. So as far as being a leader, I just want to be there for my team and for anybody that needs, help with anything to make
Right.
sure that I'm there and hopefully help them.
Are you able to work on new projects as you do some of this? Or is there like ways that you can venture out, do some new things, or is it pretty much just kind of the same? You're knocking out an edition every month and it doesn't change. I mean, do you have some flexibility there within what you're doing?
It definitely feels repetitious at times,
Yeah.
but there is a lot of expanding that we can do within the magazine and also within the real estate business, itself. Our goal is to get the magazine to where people they just can't wait to see who's next, on the cover, and just to inspire people to do better and want to be in the top 300 so they can, go to the networking events and to be able to be on the cover. I have a lot of agents that hadn't quite gotten to the top 300 or they're brand new and they're like, we're going to be there next year. You just wait,
Right.
We'll be on the list. And that's really, cool to hear.
That's encouraging because it gives them something to strive for,
Absolutely.
to work towards. So they're not only just working to sell homes and make money, but they're also trying to better themselves and be part of a bigger team.
Right.
So it seems like that this is a kind of an entrepreneur type venture. Would you say that you're an entrepreneur? I mean, is that something that you it's in your wheelhouse?
Absolutely. Always thinking of something else to, dip my fingers into because it's something, I have that spirit of new, always something new and always there's something out there, always to an adventure.
Yeah. How long do you think you'll be doing this?
Hopefully for a very long time. There's different kinds. You can do a homeowners association. My sister has Mission Dorado.
Over in
There's-
Odessa?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. And then there's different, I never thought I'd be in the publishing business. And so that's definitely different for me.
Right.
But I love real estate and I, intend to continue to do real estate as well.
So you're selling on the side
am.
and doing some of that? Okay.
Mhm.
I was going to ask that because I thought, would you have time
Yes.
to do some of that? So what's next for you? What's that next big thing that you want to try to do? Is there something out there you're like, okay, when I get to this level, I'm going to try to do this next?
Just continue to grow the magazine, and then possibly do another magazine somewhere else if that's, in the plan later on, or that is the plan later on. So
Right.
just continue to grow. I travel, I love to travel. So, it gives me the opportunity to see new places and stuff like that. So to go into conferences and,
Right.
and different
So
areas of the business.
Traveling, where all have you been?
Gosh. Well, last year I have a good friend of mine is in the adjusting business. So there's lots of places that they went, and I got to go with them, or just travel up and then drive home with them with him. And it's lots of fun because you see lots of places.
Yeah.
I think my favorite was Washington. And then we drove down the 101 all the way through California and came home. So that was probably the most beautiful drive I've ever seen.
Right on that coast.
Yes.
So you were driving down south, so you were on the passenger side, so you could see
everything.
Yeah, that's a really pretty drive.
Yeah, towards down through Oregon, and it's very, very pretty.
That is pretty. So your kids live in Denver and Phoenix, right? And you've gone to see them both, right? I think. Do you want to get them closer here, or are you good with them being away so that you can travel and go see them? Or
that's a funny question, because I tell people all the time I prayed them out of West Texas. You never want your kids to be in the oil field, but I love West Texas. This is where I was born and raised. But they are where they're supposed to be, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
When they start having grandchildren and, get married and stuff like that, I'm going to have I'm sure, a change of heart.
Yeah.
But right
You're gonna
now,
want them a
they're
little bit
okay.
closer. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so let's, we've talked about what you do with real producers, your real estate. Let's talk about you, just some fun things to get to know you. So are you a Swiftie?
A Swiftie?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Taylor Swift. Do you
I
listen
love
to
Taylor Swift.
Would you
Yes.
consider yourself a Swiftie then?
Sure. Why not?
Okay, so you know everything about Taylor Swift then.
No,
Have you seen her in
probably not.
concert?
I have not. No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Okay. That's always been a fun question to ask people, because I've gotten some moms that are like, oh yeah, my daughters, they listen to them, and so if it's on the radio, I'll listen to them. I've got two daughters, and they are big Swiftie fans, but it's not my guilty pleasure. I don't turn on Taylor Swift. It's on if they have it on, right?
Right.
And so is it that kind of the same way for
Yeah,
you?
if I hear it, then I don't turn Taylor Swift on, so I don't know if I would be a Swiftie or not. But I mean, everybody knows who she is, especially right now with the Travis Kelce thing.
That's true.
So,
That's true. Yeah. So who do you listen to? What's your favorite music style?
I am more along. I listen to a lot of praise and worship.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Where do you go to church?
I go to church at Elevate.
Elevate, okay. Yeah, I think I've heard of really good things about that church recently. So praise and worship, so you listen to Chris Tomlin, or who's your favorite that you listen to?
Brandon, what is his last
Lake?
name? Brandon Lake.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite right now.
I think he's with like Elevation
Yep, Elevation
Church.
Worship.
Yeah, Elevation Worship. Yeah, I get Elevate and Elevation. Those two different things. Okay, so
and then Lauren Dragle. I mean, you can't forget her.
yeah,
of
you
course.
can't. Yeah, that's true. Great point.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about the holidays. It's about to be Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Are you one that likes to skip Thanksgiving and get straight to Christmas?
Oh, you're gonna ask me if I decorate early,
Yeah, that's
aren't
gonna
you?
be the question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't get my stuff out this weekend, but I was
Right.
very tempted to go ahead and start decorating for Christmas. So
Okay.
yes, I'm one of those people.
Yeah. We've got one tree up,
Uh huh.
and it's a small one.
Yep.
That's all I will allow.
Yeah.
There's the small one and stuff. But started to listen to some Christmas tunes.
Yeah.
Right? So that's starting to make the rounds. Our family, we put up Christmas we go full on Christmas the week of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then we pause and have Thanksgiving, watch the Cowboy game, and then we're back to Christmas. So do you have when you were younger, or maybe when your kids were younger, did you have some Thanksgiving traditions that you guys were a part of, or did, or still do?
You know, it was always a struggle to get every Thanksgiving dinner in one day because of all of the families that you have
One
to
day,
go to.
yeah.
So that's what I remember as far as my kids growing up. But the fun thing about Thanksgiving for us is just getting together and getting stuffed and then laying on the couch watching the game.
Yeah, watching TV.
Yeah.
So
And we're big on the holiday movies too, the Christmas movies. So
Okay.
Hallmark movies are big in our house.
So you're a Hallmark girl.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
I don't know about the Hallmark movies. If they're playing, that's great, but sometimes they seem a little cheesy at times.
Yes, yeah, for
kind
sure.
of, but it's just that spirit, right?
Right.
So what's your favorite Christmas movie?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask me that too.
Your wheels are spinning, right?
Yeah, I don't really have a favorite, I don't guess I could say. I just like all the little, traditional Hallmark movies that it's all the romance, everybody.
All the romance stuff.
Yeah, everybody gets together and lives happily ever after.
Who's the Hallmark movie queen? What's her name?
Candace Cameron.
Candace Cameron.
Yeah.
That's right. So, if she's got a movie on, then my kids, my family is right there watching it.
Exactly.
I love Elf.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Chris is laughing right there. With Will Ferrell. Love that movie. That's a great movie. Okay, so
and the Santa Claus movies.
Oh, I love the Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Did you see it on Disney Plus when they redid?
I didn't.
Go back and watch those. I think they're still out, but it is a series, and it's the same characters, and they kind of just continued, like they wanted to go back and live in the real world again.
Oh, okay.
And so it's a struggle for that and stuff. It's good. It's a little cheesy at times, but it's great. But I love Christmas music. I love the Christmas season. It's all about family and
cheerful
and about Christ and the birth of Christ and stuff. And sometimes that gets lost,
Absolutely.
obviously, in that. So we have some time for just some fun questions, right?
Okay.
So just some off the wall type questions. So is a charcuterie board a meal?
Could be for some people.
Okay. Do you like charcuterie boards?
I do, yes.
Yeah. I've had that question asked several times, and I'm like, it's not a meal, right?
Okay.
It's an appetizer.
It is an appetizer.
Right. So would you
technically.
argue, because you said you like to debate?
Yeah.
So this is our debate time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. So meal or appetizer?
Well, I think it could be either one. It depends on how big your appetite is, probably.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're not, you're just one of those people that just picks, and snacks all the time, then it would be considered
That's me.
a meal.
Yeah. Who would play a movie about you?
So the girl, who
Yeah.
would be my actress? I can see her in my head, but I can't think of her name. But that was years ago when I was younger and people thought I looked like her. I'm sure I don't look like her now.
I would say Kate Beckinsale.
I don't know who that is.
She was in Serendipity. Did you ever see Serendipity?
I think so, but
Yeah.
I can't think of what she looks like. Kate Beckinsale. I'll
Yeah.
have to look her up.
Okay, yeah, look her up. So you don't remember who people said you look like?
Mm-mm.
No? Was it Sandra Bullock? I could see Sandra Bullock playing a movie
Really?
about you. Who would play a movie about me? Who would be me?
I'm not really good with names.
No comments over there behind me. So.
I don't know.
Yeah?
Kevin Costner?
Thank you. Kevin Costner's
Is that the
great.
first time?
That's the first time. That's the
Okay,
best one because
okay.
I've had David Spade
Okay.
and I've had David Letterman. Somebody said because of my beard, I guess,
Okay.
and when I had the white glasses on at times. But I've never had Kevin Costner.
Yeah, your
so
eyes,
You're
so
now
yeah.
my favorite person.
Okay,
because
there
you
you
said
go.
the Kevin Costner. Okay. Can you fold a fitted sheet?
Oh, yes, I can.
I cannot.
With
How do
lots
you
of
do it?
practice.
How do you do it?
You know what? You have to get those corners and tuck them in and then fold them. And it took my mom and my mother-in-law several times to show me how to
I
fold a
can't
fitted
do it.
sheet.
There's no way I can do that. I can't do that at all. Okay. Worst ingredient to put on a sandwich.
Worst ingredient.
Yeah.
I would say. I can't think of anything. I like all food, so
Really?
Yeah, maybe.
Even avocados?
I love avocados.
Oh, I can't.
Really good.
Guacamole is.
Oh yeah,
I'm out on guacamole.
I love
Yeah.
avocados and guacamole. So there isn't a bad ingredient that I.
Really?
Yeah, I like everything.
Do you like to cook?
I love to cook. That's
Yeah,
one of
are-
my hobbies. Mhm.
Really? That's one of
Yeah.
your hobbies. What's another hobby?
Traveling, reading. I love to hike.
Around Midland?
No,
There's
there's no
places to
places
hike.
to
Yeah,
hike
so where
in
do you go
Midland.
hiking?
So,
That's
well,
great.
like when I'm up in Colorado,
Yeah,
we do
yeah.
some hikes and stuff like that. Spend a lot of time in the Dallas area, and they have some good hiking places up
Right.
there. Just anywhere that we are, the redwoods have some beautiful places to hike.
So if you were going to throw a party, people at your house, and you were going to cook a big spread, what are you cooking?
Well, everybody wants my gumbo. When everybody comes home, it's
The
Mom,
gumbo.
you have to cook the gumbo.
All right,
Yeah.
what's in the gumbo? Give us your secret.
It's my granny's recipe, and I'm
Well,
the
you can't
only
give away
one.
Granny's
Yeah,
recipe.
and I'm the only one that actually. Me and my sister would be the ones that were always in the kitchen with her or
Right.
traveling with her or whatever, but I'm the only one that would stand right beside the stove and watch her, cook the roux and watch her put all the ingredients in. So I'm the one that has the secret recipe, and my son actually is. Last weekend, he sat in the kitchen with me the entire time and watched how to do it and made it with
Really?
me. So I guess he's, I'm sure
He's gonna
Skylar
carry
will
on the
also.
tradition, huh?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
carrying on the tradition, but I bet Skylar will pick it up as well.
Wow. How late, last question, how late is too late to cancel plans?
I would say you need to give somebody at least 12 hours.
Wow, 12 hours. That's good. I would not. I think girls, ladies probably would give more time.
Yeah.
I would say at least an hour's notice. Is that
Oh
bad
man,
of me?
if somebody cancels with me within an hour, they better have a good
They
excuse.
better have a good. Yeah, maybe I should give 2 hours and be a little
That
bit
would
more.
be nice. Yeah, I think your
courteous.
wife would probably appreciate that.
Yeah, I think she'd probably be a 24-hour person. So
Yeah.
Okay, just to kind of wrap things up. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for asking me.
Tell me who's the most influential or several influential people in your life? Who pours into Stephanie?
I have a lot of people that pour into me. My mom and dad are probably the most influential people in my life, just because I had a great childhood. And so my foundation was really good, bringing a good upbringing. My children pour into me every single day. I learn something from them, all the time. And it's funny what you see through the eyes of young adults. They're growing up and learning things new, and thank goodness I didn't have to live and be in my 20s in this day and age.
Right. Yeah.
But my sister, I just have a lot of people that are very influential in my life, and I'm grateful for that. I'm very
Right.
appreciative.
So we're sitting at a table now, and I like the thought of who am I going to invite to sit at my table. I'm big on Scripture says, don't let people pour into you that's going to be negative toward your spirit and lead you to the wrong path. Who sits at your table? Is it your family? Is it your friends? Or is it people that you work with? Who do you invite to sit at your table?
Man, I'm blessed. I have a lot of people that I would have a big table. My family for sure, and that would be first and foremost. Also, the people that I work with, they're great, and they're my extended family. And then I have some friends that I couldn't do life without. And one friend that she pours into me every morning. We do Bible studies together over the phone, and she doesn't live anywhere near me, but if it wasn't for her in this season of my life, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I appreciate her honesty and her truth.
Yeah. One thing I always like to hear from our guests is who's out there that you want to give a shout out to? Who's doing great work? Who's praying for you? Who's doing Bible study with you? Who's that one person that you just want to give a big shout out to and say thank you?
Is it one person, or is there lots of
It
people?
could be several.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to give a shout out to my mom, and because she's there every day, and she prays for me constantly. Liz Springer is one of those people who, she prays for me, and she'll just bust out in prayer on the phone if I need her to, or even if I don't even
That's
think I
great,
need it,
yeah.
but she'll do it. And, there's just a lot of people that are very influential in my life that I just appreciate. So my sister, she's one of those, she's ride or die,
Your
she's
sister,
going to be
is
there.
she older or younger?
She is 13 months older than me.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, that sounds like my wife's got a sister that's really close
Yeah.
in age too. So what is the best part about your life right now?
Just being able to do what I'm doing, and I'm blessed to have the platform that I have, and to be able to pour into people, and I just hope I'm doing it justice, and my children are one of the best. I have a really good life, and I'm blessed. So
Well,
I'm in a
thank
good
you.
season.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for what you do for the community, for the Permian Basin. How can somebody get a hold of you if they want to be in the magazine, or they want to be a partner, or maybe they just want to know about real estate?
Yeah.
What's the best way?
My cell phone is everywhere, just because I'm out there as a real estate agent, and also Permian Basin Real Producers, or my email. So anytime anybody wants to get a hold of me, I'm always available.
Okay, we'll put all that on the show notes so people can get a hold of you. Thank you, Stephanie. It's great to see you again.
Thank you.
You again for what you do. And thank you for joining with us again this week. Thank you to our title sponsor, Performance Chemical. If you're looking for specialty chemicals in the Permian Basin, check them out at PERF, P-E-R-F-Chem, C-H-E-M. That's perf-chem.com. And as I always say, don't be sad it's over. Just be glad that it happened. We'll see everybody next week.
Thank you for joining us. Drop us a line at media@perf-chem.com. Thanks to our title sponsor, Performance Chemical. How you get there matters to us.